Hello, I'm Flare Brony Analysis Extraordinaire, and this song's from Era the Acro-Bat. Couldn't go with anything obvious. I mean, everyone else is going to make the Dracula and Batman references. And this time, I have a bulleted list right here, so I can make sure I cover all the major points of the episode. And I misspelled a word there. Well, first of all, the most obvious thing. They are not really vampires because they suck juice, not blood. But I guess that makes them real vampire vegetarians. See, Twilight? That's how they do it. The book series, not the... Oh, okay. I do like the fact that they reference that at the end, where Fluttershy asks, wait, well, I was a vampire, but I wasn't eating ponies, I wasn't eating... Back to the beginning. The whole conflict of the episode is Applejack season starts and the conflict comes to Applejack in that the vampire fruit bats are ruining her apple orchard. Yay! You're doing it right! Yes, you don't make Applejack act like a nincompoop. You bring the conflict to her. Now, in this, she does act very thick-headed, but it makes sense because it's a conflict that's been presented to her that she hasn't had to really deal with before. So, it's a really good conflict, and I really like what they're doing with Applejack here. This is probably the best Applejack episode. As for the song, it starts off really good, but in the middle it kind of drops out in quality, getting kind of repetitive, and I think all the rest of the main six quickly siding with Applejack doesn't make a lot of sense. With Rarity of Rainbow Dash, I kind of understood, because they are the least open-minded of the main six. You know, they would be more inclined to side with Applejack on this. Pinkie Pie, I kind of get, but she would require some convincing. And Twilight, I think she would stay a neutral party. It would make more sense if Twilight decided to be a neutral party, but then later sided with Applejack because it would take Fluttershy a good deal of time to understand the vampire fruit bats. That was an interesting point. They said that it would take her time to be able to communicate with them properly. And since they established that could have been an explanation for Twilight's motivation. They also did some good stuff with Fluttershy here. They acknowledged the previous Fluttershy episodes, and it does feel like there is a progression to her character, finally. Took you 3 whole seasons before you finally progressed her character. She seems much better at dealing with her shyness, but it still relates to her shyness that she's a little reluctant to refuse her friends. I mean, she tries to bring up a point as to why their solution, why Applejack's idea is not a very good one, but she isn't able to make the argument strong enough. So she's kind of overcome her shyness, but there's still a bit of it lingering. Yes, once again, they're doing it right. You don't have a character stay a wallflower forever. They're supposed to get over it gradually, bit by bit, and that does it right. You know, I went through the same thing when I was a kid. I used to be a shy kid, but gradually I got over it. The visuals in the episode are really good. They really complement the theme. They do dabble into some horror and actually do it properly this time. I mean, it's done effectively, but it's, you know, done in a way that's friendly for kids. They can't do anything too scary because kids are watching the show. I especially love Twilight's presentation when she used magic to explain what went wrong and why Fluttershy is a vampire pony. So now vampire ponies are canon, by the way. That's gonna be real creepy to deal with. I can imagine all the horrible fanfics. And I also like the design of vampire Fluttershy and how it gradually showed her being more bat-like. You know, it didn't just give her fangs and call it a night. You know, it gave her bat-like features, sort of mixing the concept of a vampire and a werewolf. It was very nice, a very interesting idea. And Yeah, they had the journal entry at the end, and that it seemed to be fairly well done. Rather than just outright stating exactly what was in the journal, we give a rough idea of what their journal entry was like. So I do like that they're not doing it every single episode and just shoehorning it in. So that gives me a great deal of confidence that some of the coming episodes will not have the same problems as Season 1 episodes had, where they had to shoehorn Twilight in every single episode, regardless of whether or not she had a relevant purpose there. Well, enjoyed the episode, even though it had probably the stupidest title in all of the show's history. Definitely a decent Applejack episode, so Digibrunner will probably like this one. See you next time!